what's up and welcome. I'm the one and only West Coast King, and welcome to a video that I really don't want to have to make, but it is absolutely necessary. And I guess the way to start this off is I messed up, and that's probably what the name of this video is going to be. It's the Orlando City series I messed up episode. So here's what happened. It was 1:30 in the morning last night. I was playing some player career, just kind of testing things out for a series that I possibly want to make in the future. I was like, okay, it's 1:30, I'm done, I'm tired, I want to go to bed. So I went through the whole process of saving my progress, which if you've played FIFA, you've done it a million times. I was doing it without even really paying attention, and the file I saved the player career to was the Orlando City series save file, which means I completely erased the Orlando City series, and at the moment I did it, my face just went pale white. I just sat there looking at the screen because I knew exactly when I did it, what I just did. And I just wanted to cry. I mean, 1:30 in the morning, and I had just completely erased an entire series that I was in the middle of. And it sucks, but I said, okay, there's nothing I could do about it. I tried everything I could to save it, and there's nothing I could do. I buckled down, I restarted the Orlando City series. I've gotten all the way back to the start of season number 2 with all of the exact same players that we had when we left off in episode 12 that you just saw. And that's kind of where I'm sitting at right now. So I'll tell you what happened. In season number 1, I tried to replicate our actual season number 1 as closely as possible, which means we won the US Open Cup. So that's not any different. We finished first place in the Eastern Conference, though this time just barely. And actually, I ended up winning the Supporter Shield, which I didn't mean to do at all. That was an accident, but it was kind of necessary because I think we only won the Eastern Conference by 1 point. And I think we only won the Supporter Shield. I think Seattle finished first place in the West, 1 point back of us. And I think Columbus finished second in the East, 1 point back of us. So it was a dead even race for all three of those teams to win the Supporter Shield. So to finish as close as possible to our actual results, I had to win the Supporter Shield. But then I went on and got knocked out in the semifinal of the playoffs, this time on penalties, and this time to Toronto. So we went out in the semifinal of the playoffs just like we were supposed to. I made sure of it. It was still another heartbreaking way to go out. Instead of away goals, we got knocked out on penalties. So not any better of a situation there. It still really sucked, and it sucked to have to watch that happen, but I made sure it did happen. So we finished the season number 1. Exactly, our results were exactly what they were the first time around. So there's no problem there. The only differences were instead of LA dominating, winning the Supporter Shield, and then going on to win the MLS Cup final in the playoffs, they didn't even make the playoffs. They finished 7th in the West. Portland actually won the MLS Cup. Philadelphia wasn't as good as they were in the first season as well. They actually finished, I think, 8th in the East. They were really, really bad. But I did notice that they got like a billionaire buyout. They had like someone come in and buy their team. So they have a big influx of money coming. That's really the only couple of differences in season number 1 was the champion was Portland instead of LA. And Philadelphia got a billionaire buyout, which rarely happens, especially in the MLS. But it did happen, and it's worth noting, I think. I don't know what that means for Philadelphia, but I just want to make sure that that's out there. So that's really the only differences from season number 1. Now that brings us to season number 2, and where we're at is right at the beginning. And what I originally had thought was, okay, I'll just go 9 games in where we left off, May 1st, and I'll leave it right there, and we'll just pick up from where we left off. I'll tell you what happened, and we'll just start next episode right there. The only problem is, we can't do that because the schedule for season number 2 is completely different. We're playing completely different teams. We don't even have 9 games in the first 2 months. We have 10. So, I mean, it's a completely different season number 2, which makes things very, very complicated. And that's why I'm making this video. I want to know what you want me to do with this. Do you want me to just simulate 9 games in and start there kind of where we left off in episode 12 and just continue on? Or do you want me to completely restart season number 2, which is a bit cheating, I guess, because we were really struggling in season 2, and this would kind of give us a chance to rectify that situation, but I think it's probably the most fair thing to do because, like I said, it's just not the same season 2. It's a completely different season 2, and you might want to see me play some of those games. I know in the first 10 games, we have a game up at CenturyLink Field in Seattle, and I would really like to play that, but I will go with whatever the majority votes here. Do you want me to restart season 2, or just simulate 9 games in. Wherever we're at after those 9 simulated games, we start there and just continue on. It's completely up to you guys. Again, I'm sorry for this situation. I hate that it has happened, but unfortunately, that's where we're at. So, again, I'm sorry. Let me know what you want me to do in the comments below. Actually, I'll probably leave a link to a straw poll. Vote on the straw poll instead. That'll make everything a lot easier instead of having to go through a million comments. But that's what we're going to do. Make sure you vote. And I will see you when we come back with Orlando City career, wherever we are actually at. See ya.